says that God has actually put the knowledge of himself in our heart, so that deep down inside, we know there's a God. Because if you and I were to walk into an art gallery, we wouldn't assume that a painting could paint itself. Every painting has a painter. Every building has a builder. Every car has a car maker. How can creation have not a creator?
And all those things you mentioned, they give a book of instruction. How to, they have manual for your TV. And that book, it shows you how to follow. You cannot take a LG TV and Sony book and read it to follow the instructions.
There we go.
So
do you know that there's actually a manual within us?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's called the DNA.
Yeah.
The DNA gives instructions to our cells as to how they should function. And every cell in your body. Yeah. So it shows us that the God who created us,
I don't know how many
is intelligent.
I don't know how many people have been around from beginning to now, and the days go, you're gonna find people with the same fingerprints.
That's true.
Even if those who are dead now, future can. This is not the work of human beings. Nobody, it cannot be the work of nature. I agree with that.
That's true. I want to answer your question. I know that you said that sometimes when you look at the Bible, like it looks like there's contradictions. I'll give you an example. Like if there was an accident, right, here at Jane and Shepherd, all of us who are around would basically tell the story from our angle. Let's say if you were standing at that bus stop, you'll say a car came speeding down and hit the pole. Another person will be maybe close by and say, I saw that same car speeding down, but I saw that person was texting on their cell phone. And that's how they created the accident. So those people would tell the story from a different angle.
Four guys, one guy with the camera there, one guy there, here.
Yeah.
We wouldn't get the same picture. Maybe the other one will supplement the other one.
Based on their experience.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in court.
I agree with that.
That's the same thing that happens in court. When there's a murder, people will tell the experience based on what they saw at that time. So like when you're reading the Gospels, you see the Gospels being told by their own perspective. For example, like you might say there's a contradiction. Wait, when you read the resurrection stories, how come it says in one story there's one angel, and wait a minute, there's two angels. So what is it? Is this a contradiction? No, it's not. Because let's give an example. If Justin Trudeau was to come here to Jane and Shepherd, and let's say that he brought other people with him, some person will say when they're going home to tell the story, I met Justin Trudeau. He was so nice guy. But that person will ignore the rest of the first people that Justin Trudeau came with. Another person will say, I met Justin Trudeau, but he also came with governors and senators and other people. But wait a minute, which one is true? Both of them are true. But here's the point. The gospel writers were writing based on their experience of what they saw. They're eyewitnesses writing based on their own perspective of what they saw. And when they wrote the Gospels, it was based on eye evidence, because they were able to verify the people who walked with Jesus, talked with Jesus.
The Gospels, the writers, the eyewitnesses.
Yeah, they gave eyewitness accounts. That's
Even
why
when you look at the names, other than Matthew and John, everybody else was not disciple. How can it be eyewitness?
What do you mean by that?
Matthew, of course, the disciple, we know the disciple by the name of Matthew. No, I don't believe Matthew was written by Matthew. And we have John,
John was
a disciple. But Luke,
Luke was a physician. He was a doctor.
Yeah, but he was not he was not in the followers of Jesus.
Like the original apostles? Are you saying?
He was not the original apostle.
Yeah, like for example, Matthew was a disciple.
Luke was with Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like a physician and was.
Luke was do you know that Luke was a doctor? He was a physician and a historian too.
Yeah.
So if you study the gospel records, Luke was actually writing a historical account of the life of Jesus based on eyewitnesses who lived at that time. Even quotes Theophilus writing to one of the fellow.
Yeah, but what did he say before he mentioned Theophilus?
He says, "Oh Theophilus."
He said, "From the beginning was eyewitness and minister of the word. It seems good to me also." That means just good idea. It's like saying other people they're right, but not in order. I'm gonna make it in order, but was reading by other people. He's not.
That
claiming he met the because it was like oral tradition for the passing.
The thing is that it wasn't just oral traditions, because there were people who lived in that first century who actually walked with Jesus, saw Jesus, saw his miracles, and were able to verify that. It wasn't just oral tradition. There were also people who saw Jesus do miracles.
The Bible was reading in the time.
It was.
I mean the
First century. You know why? Because we have.
Even Paul was reading like Paul later was reading way before, like 15 years before those.
Paul wrote his gospel. Paul wrote his letters probably 50 to 60 AD. But it's within that
But
first
when
century.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, especially John was like after 100.
John wrote his gospel around 80 to 90
people in the
AD.
90s, yeah, that's when, yeah, because there's no exact time, but later, yeah.
Even atheists can dispute that the gospel writings were written in the era in which Jesus walked this earth. So
Yeah,
some
because
people.
there were so many, those are the earliest compared to the others.
So we have
That's
early.
why they were not included.
Do you know why we can verify the script, like the gospels were written in that era? Because in the second century, we have disciples of people like John who write about the writings of Paul, the writings of Peter, and also the gospels. So it wasn't just oral tradition. Those gospels were already written, and people were already quoting from them, the early church fathers.
So you don't believe the contradiction in the gospel?
Some people, like for example,
You don't believe there are different stories? Like, it's no contradiction like this person say bicycle, another one say car. I'm talking about contradiction like doesn't make sense. For example, in Matthew, Jesus was born, the baby, and the king wanna kill the babies. They run away to Egypt. If you look, if you read Luke, not only he didn't talk about that, but doesn't make sense because when he was 8 days old, he was circumcised and he was taken to the temple, and he didn't go to Egypt, and he didn't run away, and there was nothing about killing the babies.
let's use an
In
example.
Matthew, they ran away. John the Baptist was born at the same time with Jesus, maybe 6 months difference, but he didn't run away, and nothing happened to him.
All those stories can be true. For example, if I was writing your autobiography, let's say, for example, you became president of America. If I was interested in you, I would write about how you became president at that time. Some of us would omit how you experienced your childhood in the past.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm more interested in you now being a president. It doesn't mean that it's both accounts are
I
accurate.
mentioned the one that interested in his childhood. I didn't mention the one that.
So some were interested. Okay, let's look at Jesus when he was a child. Some were like, you know what? I'm more interested when he actually began his earthly ministry. So they're writing based on their own interest in Jesus, and they also telling the story. If I was going to write about your life, your autobiography, some of us would omit your childhood because as a child you didn't do much. You didn't do anything.
As a child, there's no sign that I'll be great for people to write.
Not really interested.
Yeah. So
Oh,
how
I
can you
played
be
soccer.
interested? Yeah.
Oh, I played football. That's not relevant.
That's not
What I'd be
relevant.
more interested is like, how did you become president of America? What
Now
were
the
the
time
steps
people
you took?
interested. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like
it's kind of
Obama, nobody know about Obama. But the time is rising up. That's the time people make it interesting.
yeah.
What does it profit a man
Huh?
to gain the whole world?
Huh?
Jesus
Yeah, go ahead.
Christ is calling for you today.
God bless. I'm so encouraged to talk to you. I hope I answered some of those questions on your mind.
I'm going to pray for you.
That you will come to him.
I
That
always
he
say
will
this.
transform your life. He'll give you
Everything
life
happens for a reason
eternal.
and a purpose.
That
You know why I
empty
say
life
that?
can be
A lot of
filled.
people will come, they'll see the message, and they'll walk away. But for some reason, and I know the reason, God, that's why you're
Have
here
you answered
and you're
God's
talking. So
question
my prayer is going to be a general
for your
prayer.
final
Anything I'm really
destiny?
concerned about
Have you
pray, oh.
made your preparation
I don't belong
for
to anyone.
eternity?
I pray because
Have you made your
I just
eternity
say, God,
reservation?
show me where the truth is.
Glory
It
to
doesn't
God.
have to be
We need to
go to
make
church
reservation
or
for
synagogue.
eternity.
But once I know where the truth is, I'll
Let
be
Jesus
dedicated
Christ
to that.
come into your
So then
life.
Looking.
maybe the prayer will be that God
Because
will
you've
reveal
got
the
to
truth.
realize
Yeah,
that
He will reveal
tomorrow
the truth,
promised
yeah.
to
God
none of
himself
us.
will reveal himself to you.
Tomorrow
And
promised
everything
to
there.
none of us.
But when he reveals himself
But
to you,
Jesus
don't
is
have to
calling for
But my
sinners.
question, who is God?
All kind
Some
of
people they tell me
sinners.
Jesus
When
is
he
God.
It
reveals
doesn't
himself
matter
to
what you have done. He will accept
him
you
questions.
just the way you
Open your
are.
heart.
He will not condemn you.
Because he will
He
reveal himself
loves
to
you
you.
just the way
Yeah.
you are.
When he
Of course.
reveals
You don't
himself
have
to
to
you,
fix
Go direct to your
anything.
heart, yeah.
Just come to him just the way you
If I
are.
hide it, it'll
He's
be
that person.
just to myself.
He's that
not somebody
person. He
else.
loves you
You know, you
just the
can
way
lie
you
to other
are.
people, but you cannot
Will
lie
you
to
say
yourself.
yes to
Yeah, that's
Jesus
true.
Christ tonight?
Yeah, okay.
Will you say yes to Christ Jesus before it is too late?
Yeah.
He's
Cool,
calling.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
He's calling for
Heavenly Father, we give
sinners.
you praise, we give you
Come
honor,
to
we give you
Jesus
glory,
while you
Father, for the life
can.
of Abdul.
Come
Lord,
to
you know
him
the
while
reason
the
why
eye
we
door
came to
is
Jacob Shepherd
open.
today. And I
Come to
believe that, Father, the
Jesus.
reason why we came to
Divine
Jacob
He's
Shepherd
calling for you
is
now.
our
God,
brother
reveal
Abdul.
yourself to
Father,
your
we
son.
pray, oh Lord, that you will
Jesus
make yourself
Christ
known
said, come to
to
me.
him, oh Lord,
All
in
you
the
that
name of
labor and
Jesus.
ever laden, I will
And
give
the
you
name
rest.
of
God, that you
Jesus
will
Christ.
cover
We
him.
come to give us
Crown
eternal
protect him,
life.
sole
And
of
let
his
him
feet.
know
He
you
wish that
in
none
Pray
to
that,
spirit
Father,
and in
perish,
from this
truth.
day forward,
but that also
In the
the
come to
name of
revelation that you
repentance.
showed the
Jesus come
apostle
to call
Paul,
sinners
that
to
Father, you will
repentance.
also reveal yourself to
Sinners
him
to
in the mighty
repentance.
name of
We're
Jesus
born
Christ.
in
The word of
sin,
God
so
says
we
that,
need to
Father, come unto me,
repent.
and I will show you great
We
and
all
mighty
need to
things.
repent of our
We pray
sins.
that, Father, you will show him great and mighty
Because
things. Open his eyes.
Lord,
you
Open
have
the eyes of
Jesus,
revelation.
you are alive.
And make
Let us save his
yourself
soul
known
from
to
When you
hell.
die in
him
your
in the
sins,
name
you
of
can't
Jesus.
repent
We thank you,
again.
Father, for the work you're
So
going
don't
to
be
do.
too
Take
busy
full control and let your will be
to
done.
gain the
In
things of the
Jesus'
world.
mighty name we
The
pray.
things of the world
Amen.
bring no
God bless you,
satisfaction.
brother. And thank you
Jesus
so
Christ
much.
alone can satisfy that emptiness
I
in
was
your
here
heart.
talking to him about
Jesus
many
Christ
things
alone
that
can give you
it was
eternal
really good
life.
conversation.
Jesus Christ alone can take you
At
to
the end of the day, all
heaven
that
because
matters is
He's
where
the
our soul
way,
will go.
the
That's all that
truth, and the
matters.
life.
Can I give you something that my
He's the
brothers and
only
I
one
wrote?
can carry us there
Yes,
because He
it's
knows
called It
the
Bridges Out. I
way.
think you would like
He
it.
paid the price for us. Take some time out, my friends. I realize that your life is empty. Your life is empty without Jesus Christ. You drink a lot of alcohol.
You smoke a lot of ganja.
You smoke marijuana daily and cigarettes. You're still
Happy
empty.
to talk to you.
You're still
Me and
dry.
my brother wrote
Yes.
this a few years ago.
Empty and
Called It Bridges
dry.
Out.
You got to
It's a very,
realize
very good
that
gospel pamphlet.
smoking cannot help. You try to
Hope you
fill a
enjoy it. You
void.
read
It
it from the
cannot be
beginning.
filled by the
Yeah,
things
no
of this world. Jesus Christ is the missing
And I also
link,
like
the
comic
missing
books, so I
person
also give comic
out
books
of
to
your
people
life.
as well.
Will you accept
So
Him
I hope you
today?
enjoy both the stories.
Call
God bless
upon
you.
Him while you can, my friends.
Yeah.
While you have
It's good
life
talking
in your
to you.
body, call upon
Pray that you
Him.
get home safe.
Now is the time to accept Him.
Enjoy your
Don't
summer
wait
if I don't
until
see
it's
you.
too late. Now is the time.
Yeah.
Oh, glory be to God.
Stay safe, eh,
He's
brother?
calling for you.
You and your family.
He's calling for you while you can. The blood of Jesus